Kethevane, major developments here. Tell us more.
Well, these sanctions that have been announced by the United States are, of course, the first sanctions against Russia under President Joe Biden. And so far, what we know is that 7 Russian government officials have been slapped with financial sanctions. Basically, they're going to see their assets here in the United States completely frozen. Then there's the other aspect of these sanctions, which is about 14 entities that have been put on the blacklist of the Commerce Department, entities that are linked to the production of chemical weapons in Russia. So these are the initial sanctions that the United States has announced. But there was a briefing earlier today with a senior State Department official who told reporters that these are really the first steps in sanctions against Russia, that we're expecting more sanctions to come out, including on another issue that the U.S. has with Russia besides the poisoning of Alexei Navalny, the SolarWinds hacking of U.S. government agencies. And so that senior State Department official said that we're expecting sanctions to be announced sooner rather than later. So really the Biden administration showing that they are going to be tough on Russia on the things that it sees as crossing some lines. They had said that Alexei Navalny's poisoning was one of them, and now they're reacting and putting those initial sanctions.
And Kethevane, how significant, I wonder, is all this in the context of US-Russia relations? Tell us more on that.
Well, they are significant in the sense that Joe Biden has only been in office for a few weeks, and he's already taking a step to sanction the Russian officials. And also, this is really pointing the finger at Russian intelligence. In the announcement that was made about these sanctions, they're saying that the U.S. intelligence has really confirmed with great confidence that Russian intelligence officers with the FSB were responsible for poisoning and killing poisoning Alexei Navalny, sorry. And so they're really reacting to that. It's not some sanctions to say that they're not really following the lines of humanitarian rights. They're really saying that it is a reaction to the poisoning of Alexei Navalny. Now, the thing that is a little bit more symbolic is that these sanctions so far, we're going to hear about what names come out a little bit later today, but it won't be any sanctions directed straight at Vladimir Putin or straight at any top intelligence chiefs in Russia. So it stays within the realm of Vladimir Putin, but not directly. And what the State Department officials said earlier this morning is that what they're trying to do is not to reset relations with Russia, but they're also trying to avoid any type of escalation. So again, they're treading a very fine line between sanctioning and keeping their relationship with Russia on other issues where they need to work together. For example, as far as nuclear weapons go, we saw that with renegotiating the new START treaty and extending that START treaty. So you're seeing something with Russia that seems a little bit similar to what happened with Saudi Arabia last week. There are these sanctions. The Biden administration is trying to show that they're trying to be tough on these countries when they don't agree with them, but at the same time, they're trying to keep those relationships alive, not escalate them, and try to work with these countries on things that are good for the interests of the United States.
Indeed, the difficulties of diplomacy, but nonetheless, these sanctions relating to the Alexei Navalny case being now slapped on businesses and individuals in Russia. Kethevane, as ever, thank you very much indeed. Kethevane Gorjestani, our correspondent in Washington.